Welcome back to ESL One Genting 2018. Day number 2 of the group stages is well underway. Our second best of 3 is just around the corner. If you're just joining us, you missed the best of 3 that went all the way to the wire. Penta versus EG. Look away now for spoilers. Are you looking away? Have you closed your ears? Good, because EG are through, and that's basically ruined the VOD for you now. Sorry about that. We are moving on to our next best of 3. We've also had a bit of a change at the desk right now as well. We welcome back the man with the greatest tie game in the world. It is the one and only Gods. How you doing?
Oh, wow, you're being nice to me today, Paul.
I thought I'd change it up. I just catch you out a little bit.
Yeah. It's because
keep you on your toes.
It's us 3. He's going to be mean to me and be nice to you. That's
Absolutely.
the way it
The EG fanboy, I mean, he's already had his game today.
That's
So now we move on to the Navi fanboy game against Liquid, which I just love these two teams, right? It's one of those things. I enjoy watching them both play. They've both got storied players in the team. You've got Kuro on one side, you've got Dendi on the other side, both old mates from old teams that they played in. TI winners, abundance all over the place. It's got everything. Why wouldn't you love this matchup?
And it's a great kind of friendly matchup too. You love seeing them go head to head. There's a lot of history, but there's no beef. You know, they're on good terms. It's kind of just like a competitive, fun rivalry in a sense. One that Liquid normally gets the better of.
Sure, but now Navi are just creeping up a little bit. You just think, okay, good test for them now, because I accept what Blitz said the other day. He said they're not there yet. They need to prove themselves. They need to beat a big team. Well, all right. Well, they've beaten EG in round 1, but he was like, yeah, but EG are in transition.
BO1 as well.
Okay, fine. BO1. I accept that. If they beat Liquid now, Blitz can shut his mouth.
Yep.
He can literally shut up.
I agree.
He's out.
He leaves
the tournament
with Liquid. You know, they're both out.
All right, let's take you through the two teams. First up, Team Liquid. I mean, it's a fabulous lineup when you look at it. You know, you can pick out any one of them as being a world-class player, whether it be Miracle winning Player of the Year awards or GH being robbed of another award, or whatever it might be. But not all of them have a reason for being in this team. Who do you pick out? Who do you want to talk about?
I probably want to just talk about Kuro.
Okay.
I mean, this guy's a legend. Like, I don't really know what else to say. His drafting is, I think, one of my favorite to watch, just for the past.
And another man from the school of Puppy.
Yeah. And I think he's had just such good growth throughout the entirety of Dota.
All right, let me ask you, Gods. Has he now, in this last 12-month period, has he surpassed the Padawan and become the Master?
Yes. Yeah, I think at this point you look at Kuro and say he's probably the most successful captain in Dota, at least at this time. That can change, obviously. You know, Dota's going to be here for 5-10 years, but right now he is not even just like over the last year, but historically his resume is probably the most successful captain, I would say.
Yeah, and it's not just about success, is it? It's the cleverness, the smartness about the players and how he drafts and how he makes his players work in the team.
Yep, and he's done it, like he's brought in some young talent, he brought in Mind Control when people didn't know who he was. Even the old roster, who was like Jarex on support as well, he was kind of a new face to the scene. So he's worked with like not the world-class all-star rosters that people kind of used to maybe seeing succeed. Like the EG secret approach was always like, let's get these star rosters. Liquid, OG, kind of similar. These teams took a different approach. Let's find new young blood. Let's find the stars on the rise.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's like, even with like their coach, right? Like people know who Heen was, but it's not like, oh, best coach in the world. He's just like, I'm going to bring Heen in. I'm going to get these different ideas from him. I'm going to get Mind Controlled, Matu, all these players that have been like on the cusp, kind of. Mind Control maybe a little bit less before when they first grabbed him, and then just elevated them.
Let's turn our attention to Navi and show you the lineup for the boys in yellow, the yellow peril as they are. Obviously, the man that stands out in this one is Dendi, but a man I know you've been very impressed with is Roger.
Yeah, big fan of their 2 additions. I really like Roger in his ways that he forces plays to happen, and I like Crystallize in his consistency.
Yeah, Crystallize for me is fantastic. Such a good pickup.
Yeah, I think he's been the breakout. I mean, the MMR #1 ranked EU player, 1, 2, whatever. He kind of changes day to day, but just individual skill, he's fantastic. He fits incredibly well with Navi. We've seen flexibility in his hero pool, playing some of the hard carries, some of the more team fight ones like the Void we saw yesterday. So the guy is very flexible in how he can kind of fit into this Navi team.
Do you feel like they should play around him a bit more, though? There's still an element of playing around Dendi?
I think they've actually found the right balance. I think that's why Navi's succeeding more than they used to. It used to always be, let's make sure Dendi has a good game. Let's send 2-3 heroes mid. Now we see games where they do kind of play a bit more around Crystallize to make sure it's, you know, more balanced depending what actual heroes and draft they're doing. They're not just going to always be in this single mind mentality of.
Would you like to see them do that more, though?
Not
or do you think they have a good balance at the moment?
I think it's a good balance right now.
Okay, I agree. Good balance. That's what I was going to say. And also, I wanted to check in the houses. Because he left his,
He's left his notes?
secret notebook,
Wow,
I think. So I'm
you
gonna,
should be able to look.
I'm gonna
Hold
look
on,
through and
what's
see if I can
what's
find
that? What's
Navi.
that? What's that? Hold on. Fogged 014 at TIs.
014.
I think that's
What does that mean?
useless, mate. I don't know what that is.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. That's terrible. That's a terrible stat. Anyway, let's move into the draft because that's much more interesting. We're going to first pick Tusk from Navi. And Viper opening for Liquid. Viper Rubik opening.
They played it yesterday.
Yeah.
Liquid's just on their own stuff. You know,
Just doing their own thing. Yeah, you draft whatever you want over there. We're just going to do our own
Viper,
thing.
but we'll do it. This year is good. And
well, actually, Navi's got Dendy, who has been playing Viper as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like a specific reason why Liquid would want it, but I think they're just like, we're just gonna pick this.
So Dendy kind of
this hero.
I don't think they're block picking.
No, I don't think
Block
not this early.
pick it. I wouldn't imagine they block pick it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Navi are picking as like maybe a late 4th, 5th pick for Dendy. They normally save his hero pick for very late in the draft, and that's where it's very much not a block pick if you're first picking it. It's something they really want.
Mind games already from the very warm Kuru, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, you know your mid matchup. Navi say we will first to pick our mid hero this time around. Shadow Fiend.
I like SF now again.
Yeah, he's
really
lot better than he
fun.
used to be.
He's just really fun to watch of a hero. It's either like
always
he's gonna
been fun to
feed
watch,
or he's
though.
gonna get lots of kills.
But he's always been fun to watch. But now I think he's actually a viable, fun watch. He actually does take part now. I think in the past you saw players that was Arteezy springs to mind as one of those. You know, back in the day was fabulous to watch on it. And then it kind of went out of fashion. Nobody was playing it, and then he would play it once in a while, and it'd just be like, nope, it's still not working.
It kind of like reminds you of this is super long time ago, but just the like Blink Dagger first item Shadow Fiends when you have to depend on your raises. Now it's like you're back onto raises again. It's really important to land those like double, triple raises. So Rubik, Viper, these two heroes you can work really cool around them because the way Nether Toxin works is not only does it break, but it applies the magic. You take more magic damage and magic amplification. Rubik, same thing with the null field, so you can turn that. So I'm kind of thinking Liquid might go for some type of magic damage in addition to this, maybe some...
Last time they had
ones.
Sand King, Earth Spirit as two heroes to kind of work with the Viper, but this is obviously a Rubik in here. So.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe Earth Spirit. I'm like, oh wait, they have... But actually they still could, because I guess Kuro and GH do play the Rubik, so I guess it could definitely still be that Earth Spirit.
We expect the Viper to be the Matumba Man Viper, though?
Yes.
He's played, I think...
More often than Miracle has.
Yeah, way more often, right?
Yeah.
It's one of his most played heroes. And it is something, at least of this patch, it is something. He
fourth
played,
most played.
He played yesterday.
They were playing in the beginning of the patch too when he first got changed and implemented it. They were picking it a bunch, and people were like, "Oh, maybe Liquid's onto something." They picked, and they were like losing with it every time. They go, "Oh, never mind. It's just Liquid."
No, it's just Matumba.
It's just Matumba.
Like, this man loves things like Necro and Veno and Brood and odd stuff, and enjoys them all as well. It's like, how can you enjoy all of those?
The toxic hero. He enjoys the opponent's suffering. That's how he enjoys them. He doesn't enjoy playing, but he enjoys
you're right.
the mental aspect.
Look at my Veno.
They do take out the Earth Spirit. I think it's just really good too because Shadow Fiend can get pressure too much from that duel, like the Viper plus Earth Spirit. You just can get killed nonstop.
I love the Tusk with SF. I saw this a lot of Galaxy battles before this, where it's like this Tusk presence in the mid lane. You've got Ice Shards to block, Snowball to set things up. It's so easy to set up a triple race for a Shadow Fiend when you can block like that entire ramp in the mid lane.
Does feel like we've gone back to 2014 though.
SF versus Viper.
No, well, and SF Tusk actually as well.
Yeah.
They say all things come around, right?
Witch Doctor.
It does. Yeah, it does. I mean, that does happen a lot with Dota.
So
part of what makes it great.
Yeah, 2 range supports.
And nothing that really roams to match what Tusk... I mean, Rubik sort of does, but not an easy way of dealing with Tusk by any means.
What if they pick 5 range?
Drow Ranger?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay then.
The last time they picked it was when they lost at DreamHack, though. So they do. Okay, so Navi does get their Ench. That's been played in 2 different roles. We've seen Roger play it mostly on Roger, but we have seen General a couple times as well.
Yes.
But they picked the Ench into the Viper too, who can break the Untouchable.
Yeah, that's... I mean, very much you're picking that Ench for that first 10, 15 minutes of the game where it's like, well, Viper's not even leveling up his Nether Toxin at that stage.
Yeah.
So.
We'd expect that to be a general Ench though, wouldn't we? At this point.
50-50 really.
Yeah, I guess we don't really
I think
know.
Just
Can't really
leaves
say.
Liquid guessing a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a very good game for a roaming edge when
They-
you look at
They
these.
picked it into the Witch Doctor too, right? And the Witch Doctor's not
that's true.
amazing, but the cask you just dissuade the gank entirely because you stun it for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Dragon Knight, so
Right.
So DK
potential
for Liquid.
potential side lane could be Mind Control playing this in the off lane or in
Yeah.
1v1, could be safe lane. Similarly, we could see it go mid with Viper in the safe lane. Very, very flexible picks for Liquid in that sense.
Yeah.
Not a hero that matches up amazing against either like the Ench or the
Yeah.
SF, though, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially like a Tusk rotation plus a Shadow Fiend with like level 1 or 2 raise, they can kill the DK if he's there.
Seems more like a pick Liquid picking like, hey, this hero fits our draft and what
Nature.
we're looking to do. We don't care what you've got. We just want a DK.
Yeah, nature of the game, I guess they want to have this hero that can just force towers and objectives.
Viper does that too. We're seeing the Helm of
Yeah.
the Dominator build typically, so
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Batrider. So it does put Ench onto Roger as a support. And Batrider for general.
My favorite general hero, the Batrider. For a long time, I think that's been his best. His Bat and his Clockwork and Sanking. Those 3 for me were my favorite for him.
Just Crystallize left. I don't think they can get too greedy with Crystallize. They've already got the Shadow Fiend. They've got this Ench roaming around. They haven't really got a good lane securing support in Tusk, so
I can't see all the bands. Is Void banned?
He's not.
it's not bad. It's kind of a classic go-to Crystallize
Yeah.
hero at the moment.
Very popular at the moment for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. They're fairly tanky Liquid heroes. The SF, the only
Yeah.
real damage to dump in, and it's kind of hard to line up a lot of raises too during the Chronosphere, I feel. It's hard. They're going to have to pick it not necessarily knowing Liquid's lanes either.
Oh, I was trying to
They're
think.
going to have to take a best guess on that, aren't they?
I think I really like. Oh man, do I really like? Yeah, I think I really like Terrorblade actually for Navi. It's one of my favorite crystallized heroes too.
Yeah, hasn't played it a huge amount recently.
Yeah,
You
not
kind of
recent,
get away with
but
it though. It
it's-
seems like
maybe it's a
there's
bit-
this Rubik Witch Doctor that could aggro you.
Yeah, and
You don't-
Rubik's actually very good. Never mind. Yeah, the Sunder. I was like,
You don't know what kind
Yeah.
of laning opponent you're going
Huh.
to get.
That-
Well, they
Liquid-
feel
Liquid
like it
banned
will
it.
be a TV, so
Okay.
I was thinking like, I don't know. It just seems like it fits really nice versus these heroes of Liquid. That's the only reason why, except for the Rubik because of the Sunder steal mechanic. But
What will they get instead? Lycan's still in the pool. I think Lycan.
it was banned out early. It was, or banned out
Banned
5th by
out.
Liquid.
Yeah, okay.
they're difficult to see, aren't they?
Yeah,
I'm
it is-
glad
it
you're,
is a bit
you're
hard.
struggling
No.
as well, because I just thought it was me with old eyes or something.
Well, it's the people, a lot of us with glasses, and then you with your vision
Age,
lacking a
thanks.
bit.
Yeah,
I was gonna be nicer, but yeah, age.
yeah. That's fine, you can be bold.
No, I'm the nice person. You're
could be
just mean
honest.
to me. So then people can just be like, wow, Paul's so
Ah, you-
mean to that nice person who just always treats him nicely.
I think I'm surprised I haven't had more abuse from gods, actually, considering how bad we were at the cricket this winter.
I feel bad making fun of it because I haven't been following. You know, it's
right,
like
okay. I mean, with
Can I really-
4-0,
okay.
yeah, we got blitzed. Like, we got, yeah, ruined. Wrecked. Savagely.
So they just take like,
Brood. I guess it could have
They
been a
did
Brood
take
pick.
the Brood out, just in case.
Yeah.
Because we know how funky they can be. I don't think they would go Brood here, though, but
Yeah,
I
mostly
guess they're
because
protecting cheats.
Yeah, Matu plays Viper and the
Yeah,
Brood
exactly,
for them,
yeah.
I'm wondering if they want to do so, but again, it's like, I feel like it's a bit greedy. I don't know.
They do like that, don't they?
Yeah.
But it is very greedy here. They'd have to do... What would they do? They would move, what, the inch to a 5, I guess? Yeah. Which they have done. It's not like they haven't done that.
Deucer or Gyro? Alright, just kidding.
Went Razor instead. Okay.
That's better. It's a much better hero than the
Yeah,
we were
and
saying.
now it's a hero you're not worried like, hey, you don't know Liquid's lanes, what you're laned against. Well, you're not
Yeah.
going to get beaten in the laning stage with a Razor pickup.
And now it's like, if Liquid does want to throw, like they have before, like Mind Control DK offlane, then there's a Razor that sounds
Yeah.
not so fun.
If they
But-
want to fight the Razor lane, they have to send supports at this point.
Yeah. They have done that. I mean, they have sacked him before in the patch. Just been like, whatever.
Yeah,
If they want to
I think
choose
I've
to do
seen that
that.
exact DK
I think
versus
he's done
Razor
DK
before.
versus Razor. Yeah, I think he has.
And it's like he got heavily outfarmed, but he still got like maybe 10 CS at 5 minutes or something, and got
And
a
they-
soul ring.
They made rotations too. They like ganked like once or twice once you have a couple levels in Breathe Fire. And Razor's pretty susceptible to early ganks.
Does feel like maybe that big
What's-
last pick miracle here.
What's
could be coming
what's
out.
what's the miracle guy? What's you thinking? What does he want to play? Is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, Kura's
Drow.
probably just turning to him like, what do you want? Could be. This
Could
is
still be.
this is
Could still be a drow.
It's tricky. Tusk and Bat. These are three very scary heroes to be playing a drow against.
That's true.
The tower diving potential of a Tusk, you can't get away once you're blocked by an ice shards. Bat just dives all over you. I feel like drow is incredibly rough.
Absolutely. How about the Tinker though for that control for the same reasons,
Gyro,
the opposite reasons, or the gyro?
Yeah, gyro DK. I was thinking it, but I didn't say it in time. And it actually works well with the magic damage thing we were saying. This hero does an incredible amount of magic damage early on, so you can be boosted by your teammates. And Rubik Gyro, we've got a classic. Rubik Gyro DK, actually. These three, very classic combo.
Yep, plenty of popular heroes in here for the players that have picked them as well. So, comfort on both sides. Which draft do you prefer, though, Gods? Which looks the stronger to take game one?
I prefer Navi's draft. I think Liquid as a team is a whole lot stronger, so I'm not going to go on a limb and say I think Navi's are going to win this game, but I think their draft is actually slightly better. At least for me, I would feel more comfortable playing their draft.
Yeah, me too, because I'm in a weird place where Viper is, but with Liquid being so comfortable on the hero, I'd probably still against Nano. Lame, but yeah, I would still probably go with them.
I'm going to go with Liquid, but I like Navi's draft
with
better.
See, that makes more sense to me. Like, Fog just doesn't make any sense. Gods is totally right. You can choose Navi's draft, you can still pick the other team. Let's head into game number one of our second series of the day. Do enjoy this one. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Our panel certainly loves the Navi draft. Blitz, are you feeling the same? You like the Navi draft as well?
Oh, I'm a huge Navi fan, so I think that...
I know. You are all about Navi all day and night. He actually couldn't stop talking about him yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
No, I actually, like, all jokes aside, I think that I am okay with Navi's draft.
Okay.
I think that Bat Rider is a very cool hero in this meta.
Yeah.
And I think that the more that I see him, the more useful that he gets for me. So.
You had a lot to say about him for that EG series that we just saw. Sumail had a very successful Bat Rider.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about Bat Rider in a vacuum, and I'm thinking about this hero, like, when you pick these single core Svens, and you don't have the accompanying 2 cores, and especially because nobody picks these save heroes anymore, like nobody's taking Oracle or Venge or anything like that, so it strengthens that hero on top of that. And when you have the single core kind of lineup where your entire lineup is based on like this one core being very strong, then it's almost like an auto win, because the Bat Rider's job is very easy, right? He just always picks up this one guy, no matter how late the game goes, you'll win the team fight as a result of that.
Okay, but isn't that a little bit opposite of what we're seeing here? Team Liquid have 3 different cores that all kind of scale the same. None of them are the hard carry by any means, but all of them are kind of like mid-game-ish carries.
Precisely, and that's why I wanted to bring up Bat Rider. When we were looking at the draft for the viewers, I was like, ask me about Bat Rider, because I think it's so cool, because the counter to that is you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to make sure, like, if you don't have that saving support, because those heroes are pretty bad right now, Oracle and Venge. Like, anybody that plays any high-level pubs will tell you, like, those heroes feel so low game impact. And so you can't really pick those heroes. Like, the only other hero that is kind of okay-ish is, like, you could take, like, Disruptor or SD, but you can't really open those heroes, especially if it's a 4th pick bat. And so you're forced into a position where you have to put more of a spread on your cores.
Okay, but so in this case, though, you still like Navi's draft more, despite the fact that you feel like the Bat Rider is a bit countered by the fact that Team Liquid do have 3 equal cores in this regard. So what is it about Navi's draft that you're okay with?
I think it's easier for them to move around and get kills. I feel like Dendi should have a very good game in this game. Like, he can play very mobile, and the amount of catch on the side of Liquid is going to be a little bit limited. So for me, when I'm looking at this draft, it's really contingent on how well Mind Control can do, because he's going to need to be a playmaker for Liquid, and he has to be very active, whereas I feel like it's a bit easier for Roger to play this game, which is why we see
What is this gank? Liquid, they smoke up at the Bounty Rune earlier, and we actually have all 3 of them just sitting on top of mid. They get the early first blood, and then go ahead and TP into the safe lane. What a clowny. I mean, like, you don't really miss anything. I don't think Miracle missed a CS. He got it.
The funniest part, though, was like, okay, the reason why I think he does that as well is because he knows that the top camp is going to get pulled.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't need to be there.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like, whatever. But the funniest part was, like, I don't think they expected that to be
I mean,
in chat. I thought they were going to get Dendi.
Yeah. If they had the supports to stop a Bat Rider, Do you think they wouldn't have made that kind of play,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
It's the fact that they don't have the way to be able to stop this pulse. So
I mean, it's gyro's okay because if you flak hit or if you rocket barrage, no matter what, you'll get the hits off on the Batrider.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of kill potential, I think, to scare him because he can always Firefly away, and especially on that side of the map, you can just go to the left and you're unclickable.
Yeah.
When you go over that like little tree bend, everyone knows what I'm talking about there, right?
GH using telekinesis here is
I think
actually going
he's
to be
dead.
blocked out by the ice shards. Really good placement there from Roger, but unfortunately,
He mischurned.
we did not land.
I don't
our
think
spells.
I don't think it matters. Like he probably lives, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't have mattered. GH would have lived anyways, I think.
Was GH got like early boots?
I don't know about that, but
Telekinesis pullback. Roger body blocked heavily here from Matumba Man, making sure. Oh, what a beautiful ice shards! Now GH may still be able
Dude,
to
he
get
doesn't
over the
have the
cliff,
range.
but he's barely out of range.
oh
Well played.
damn, Roger's so good.
And this is why we're seeing Snake on the Enchantress and Roger on the top side.
Oh my god, that was so. That's like such quick thinking.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have like the biggest smile on my face. I'm a big fan of that. That was cool. There was like the outplay on
Yeah,
that was like the
yeah,
third
yeah.
level. First Liquid outplays him by getting the body blocks and all that for nothing. And then he knows that the TP range, the Rubik doesn't have the range for that. Oh, that was cool.
Some pretty high level Dota going
Plus
on
he
here in our
blocked
first
the
game.
Viper in, so he couldn't get the chase. Roger's such a beast. Remember his Kunkka at DreamHack? Like he solo won Navi the game.
Yep.
That guy's a monster.
Top lane, they're actually trying for it with the Enchantress now. The Witch Doctor does cause some issues for any Enchantress gank with a Paralyzing Cast. Nice play from Sineko, just denying his own creep, making sure Miracle doesn't get any bounty out of that.
Yeah, and Navi is one of those teams that like plays the double four or something similar to that, anyways.
Yeah, just heavy
Matumba Man's
double
dead.
running. Matumba Man is not going to be living for long. I like the fact that we did play that pretty far back on the SF, just making sure we weren't going to trade that out
Yeah,
and go 1-for-1. You could definitely see that Matumba Man wanted to make that trade out.
yeah, he knew his life was over at that point. You might as well go for it. But speaking more about Liquid, I think that Gyro's having an okay game. Like it's harder for him to die as well. Like decent stats, he already has 10 magic stick charges. I don't know if Navi makes any sort of play up there. And they're still doing a decent job of limiting the amount of CS that Dendi's having. It doesn't matter as much though because Viper is known as a lane dominator, whereas SF is a hero that flash farms, especially in this meta, very, very quickly.
And it feels like we actually were talking about SF. We both kind of felt like the hero is incredibly strong, particularly in pubs, but even in pro games we see the strength of the hero just always being able to farm, can go into late game really well, has multiple very versatile builds to be able to employ depending on what the game requires.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a stretch to say that I think Liquid's the better team, but when people said like Liquid's the better team, but they like Navi's draft, like Navi's draft seems to fulfill like the basics of what's needed in a good draft. Like, they have good lane shove, they have good team fight, they have the ability to scale, they have good playmaking.
I think Sineko, I'm not wrong there, he threw both rock shards right at the same time. That doubling up may have actually cost them that kill.
Matumba Man good again. They're gonna get GH as well.
He's gonna die as well.
Yeah, he's trying to give it to Dendi.
Yeah.
Nice. They won the dual lane. It's like I said though, it's hard to kill Miracle. Like he's got a bunch of stick charges. You're not gonna commit to it. He's just gonna get rocket off and run away anyways.
Yeah, he's actually going no levels flat-handed here and just all in on that laning phase presence of the rocket barrage as well as the missiles.
4 stones.
4 stones being thrown down. Snako.
Wait, was it like something cast the first stone? He who's
Let
without
he
sin.
who without sin cast the first stone.
Well, he cast a lot of those.
He's an absolute flawless player apparently.
Yeah. Is there any stacks in Ancients for Liquid?
Well, none for Na'Vi. Liquid, none.
Okay.
I mean, the supports have been too busy, it seems like,
Yeah.
with this double roaming pressure coming out from Na'Vi, combined with the fact that they have very strong laners between the Batrider, Razor, and the SF. This is just seeming like a struggle for Liquid to keep up in the laning phase.
I think it's difficult because normally when you have this dual lane mid, especially when you're on Dire side, it's very easy to stack the Ancients, and you have a bunch of heroes that can clear them. The Gyrocopter can do it, the DK can do it.
Viper
So
is
it's-
actually not terrible at doing it either.
Yeah, I mean, you just get your passive, or not your passive, the
Nether
new
Toxin.
Nether Toxin, yeah. But the fact that they weren't able to stack at all is a little bit concerning for me.
they're going to get an easy kill here on the Enchantress, and they do have the missile onto General as well, so they can still pursue with the Maledict. They can get some decent damage on him, but certainly not enough to really threaten him, I don't think.
He's getting a little bit low.
Yeah, maybe. GH just keeps on laying onto him, and it looks like that Fate Bolt was going to be enough. At the same time, though, they killed Matumba Man again. I know Matumba Man, sacrificial core and all that. We talked a lot about that for Team Liquid, winning TI. That was a big part of their playstyle, but it feels like, especially on a Viper, you can't be sacrificed this much, right?
Dude, I'm looking right now at a level 7 Razor versus a level 4 DK. It's so rough. It's rough out there. All right, how do you live here, Roger?
All right, he snowballs onto GH, trying to get a little bit farther away from Matumba Man. He does have the backup of Seneko, actually blocking GH in long enough for Dendy to be able to come up and clean up that kill. So not only does he live, managed to get a kill
This
on Liquid.
is really rough. And they can leave this one-on-one. Like, Crystallis can't die in this. He's got 1,000 HP. Even if both supports rotate in, I don't think they can get the kill on him. And they realize that, so they're playing very greedy on the opposite sides of the map. They're putting a lot of pressure on the safe lane. They're putting a lot of pressure on mid. Because they know that this is a dead hero for them. Like, this is a hero that doesn't require help, and on top of that, he can't die. So it's an ideal situation for them. Whereas this gyrocopter needs help.
You've routinely told me that in this patch, if you lose all 3 lanes, it's like all but guaranteed that you pretty much lose the game here. How does Liquid come back into this? Particularly since it's not like their lineup's greedy in the fact that they have 3 different cores that all need to scale, but it's not like they have a hard carry, right?
I mean, I think Gyro is going to be a beast in this game.
Okay.
They just don't have a save for him, and the more that the other 2 lanes get slowed down, it kind of just hurts your overall game flow, right?
Matumba Man, beautiful body blocking here from Roger, plus the ensnare come down from the Enchantress. Still
5-man.
not going to be enough, though, as the Matumba Man is going to be able to live through that barely. Denny is actually going to have the paralyzing cast bounce back to him, and Miracle closing the distance there. They even got the extra poison out from Matumba Man, make sure to slow him down. Double kill from Miracle. What a good rotation. They needed something like that because this laning phase was not going so hot for Liquid.
Yeah.
They needed something to offset all of that.
That's so unlucky. Did you see that? Like, if the cast
I did.
goes to the left and he's like half a pixel away, then SF doesn't die there.
Yep.
I was actually going to say, believe it or not, that I think Liquid does this weird thing where when they know they're behind, they just 5-man.
Yeah.
Because that's their bread and butter, right? They just out-team fight other teams. That's kind of what they're known for. When you think of Liquid and you think of these like crazy comebacks, the reason why it
Get the shard. Oh, good try.
that was cute, but
Oh, get Ancient denied.
okay, that would have been Roger. But the way that they make these comebacks often, like when you historically think about them, it's because they're willing to 5-man before a lot of other teams are.
Yeah, even when they were running like these like here in this game, they already have such big team fight heroes that they would have even more incentive to 5-man. But they would do that kind of 5-man with like heroes like Lone Druid at 10 minutes in, and you were just like, that hero's not supposed to do that, but they would do it anyway.
Yeah, that's oftentimes the way back in as.
This is all looking so good, but Telekinesis top back really slowed down that damage on a Matumba Man. And it looks like he had a lot of recharges as well.
Look at that casket goes over. Oh no.
Oh, and Deja Vu. Apparently we're going to have another snowball into the mid lane, but this one looks a little bit better for Navi. They shouldn't have any troubles just being able to kill Kuro, as they've already killed Matumba Man, and there's no rotations coming out from Liquid. So Navi strike back in the mid lane. But
Do we get a replay of that one? Can we just keep going back?
We just keep going replays into fresh snowballs.
Eventually we'll catch up. This bottom tower that's going to get taken.
General is hoping to be able to snag the Dragon Knight. But at the same time, they've left mid. Miracle knows that. He's been waiting this whole entire time to wrap around behind them. They're going to have the opportunity to get that call down now. Dandy taking a lot of magic damage already. He's extremely slowed down. Does have the Maledict on him, so he should end up dying here. Kill ends up going to Kuro.
Now there's 5 heroes mid for Liquid again.
Yeah, they brought Mind Control, who still had his dragon form, so despite being denied that safe lane tower, he's going to get an even more important one, mid-tier 1.
Yeah, that's massive. And Navi, I mean, they over-rotated and kind of outthought themselves there, but this is often how Liquid comes back into these games, is like these improbable 5-mans where you just don't expect it. They do it a lot faster than some teams. And it just kind of keeps you off your pace. Because Navi, the thing about them and what keeps them like consistent is they're a pace-setting team.
Yeah.
Matumba Man gonna die.
Beautiful setup
Once
Roger,
again.
man. The patience there. Just holding on to the invis, knowing he was going to get into some sort of clutch scenario.
Yeah. They're still getting kills though on the other side. And
Yeah.
this gyrocopter is getting really farmed. Like if it wasn't for that, he's 6-0-2 right now. If it wasn't for that, like Navi would be winning this game. But they're just like consistently committing him to fights. And Miracle's reading the situation. Okay, so this is the mid time that he died.
Yeah.
Nice. If he dies again, like while we were in the replay, she's so sad.
Is there something besides the over rotation? Is there something else that Navi's doing wrong? Because they should have had a bit of an advantage from their laning phase win. Are they just not? Is it they just not reading the fact that Liquid is willing to 5-man?
I mean, Liquid's going for these 5-mans, and
Did he actually just push himself a little bit farther with the ice shards?
so.
Man, that's brilliant.
General's gonna go down as look again. Like it's the fact that they're willing to commit all 3 cores to one area,
Yeah.
and Navi's not, and so Navi is consistently just getting picked off. As Rod, all right, he's really good at that, but that time he didn't matter.
Then they still have the playmaking supports.
Yeah.
It seems so. Even though they're showing 3 cores in one lane, they can still actually do something with their 2 supports.
It's like that's kind of the power of Liquid, is that all 3 cores are so self-sacrificial. They don't really care about the individual farm, that they're willing to show for each other. And Navi's now trying to do that. You notice that SF is in the same lane as Crystallize, but it's just like they're like half a beat slower.
Yeah.
They're trying to read the game right now, and they're realizing like, okay, Navi's like, okay, we're actually just getting 5-man like crazy, and we're blowing our advantage that we had from the laning phase. So now we need to do this. But if you're the team doing it half a second later, then you're usually losing a hero or 2.
Yeah, you're
getting
just
to that
naturally
point.
falling behind. It really does seem like pace is a really big important part of the game.
Yeah.
And once you started getting out of pace, just like nothing works for you. It just seems like everything turns into disaster.
Yeah. So if you look at Mind Control, we talked about how he had to have a good game. Like,
Okay.
If you notice, and he has to be the trendsetter, right, first team, the pace setter. So he gets Blink Dagger first, and he's just going to run around trying to set up for kills.
They didn't really have an initiator on their team. It's kind of awkward, this tri-core setup that we keep on seeing in Dota. But if you can turn a hero like Dragonite into an initiator for you,
Yeah.
I guess that works.
For Navi to kind of like be cleaner in this game right now, they have to be prepared for this like Liquid aggression. Because the 2 ways I think to deal with a team like Navi is you either have to match their pace, or like Complexity does, for example.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you have to flat out avoid fights at all costs, like, and you just split them around the map repeatedly.
Okay. Does Liquid keep on staying the 5-man? If they see Navi doing the same thing, right? Like, do they then switch it up? Like, okay, now we're going to play a little bit more split push now that you're trying to 5-man. Or do you think they just fight? With this kind of lineup, it feels like they should just fight,
For Navi?
right? For Liquid.
For Liquid, I think Liquid just keeps fighting.
Yeah.
You have a Viper that has nothing. Like, you have to commit to something.
They're going to pop the glyph here, see if Liquid make this rotation to save their mid-tier 1 tower, or if they just keep on going for this push. It looks like they've got
They have
several
a ward
heroes.
behind the tower. They should go. They should all in for this tower. And if I'm Liquid, I would try to fight this one.
Navi's already going to find the initiation. They're going to try and get an easy kill onto GH before the rest of Liquid can be here, but it takes a little while, and now Mind Control is hero. Looking for the opening, unable to get it onto the SF. A little bit farther down, we do have Kuro laying a lot of damage into that Razor. Crystallize, he's definitely going down, especially the homing missile chasing him down. Should be enough to be able to get that kill. Batrider is able to fly over the river and keep himself alive. Our SF did not go down in that perilous situation up against Dragonite, but neither did Mind Control. So in the end, Liquid do end up defending their tower pretty well and netting themselves a great team fight.
Yeah, that's a tower that you absolutely don't. It's a weird decision-making process, because I'm okay with both sides, like the move that they made.
Yeah.
Navi has a ward behind the tower. They only see GH there. That's a fight that they commit for. But at the same time, they're not as strong in the 5-man department, and so Liquid knows that, and they're going to take advantage of that and take the fight anyways.
Right.
So it's complicated in that regard.
You know what's really cool about this Dragonite core that I keep on seeing is that every single time Mind Control is the one who keeps on pushing the towers, and he'll be the one person who TPs to defend while the rest of his team actually makes the rotation. So he's simultaneously threatening the side lane while still being able to use that Dragon Form to team fight.
Roger,
Nice
no.
try, Roger.
Alright, so like for every cool shards that I see him hit one of those. Not like this.
Oh, smoke up here, but that has definitely been spotted.
Yeah.
A little bit surprised Liquid don't have a sentry to D-ward before they smoke.
But Navi, I think they just avoid, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't get
Just
caught
run
by this.
away.
Just run to the south side of the map. Like, go...
Play on your high ground in
Yeah.
the jungle area, and if they run into you, then...
I'd be pretty surprised if Navi... That'd be really greedy if they died to this.
Yeah.
Like, they should just get on their own high ground and chill. Which is exactly what they're going to do. So, good discipline. And now, Liquid, they're still
Maybe
smoked up.
You're speaking a little bit too soon.
Nah, they should
gonna
know for
get
sure.
greedy.
Like, look at Roger. His positioning's perfect.
And they also know the smoke is worn out. They're actually going to smoke themselves here and see if they can actually contest next to their shrine. Is their shrine activatable? This could be a really good fight. Okay, it's not, but still.
Starflight up.
They can get the
They're gonna get
initiation
Matama
here
again.
right as Liquid's breaking up apart. They're going to go for the Viper first. A tough kill to get immediately, but they do have the pure damage coming out from Seneko and the heavy physical damage out from the Razor. GH is also going to be dying on the side as he attempted to keep on pushing out that top lane. So meaning he will be another victim to Navi's smoke gank. Very successful one at that. Navi can turn it into a mid-tower push.
Now you get the tower for free. It's very nice. Dendi doesn't have the Yule Scepter quite yet, so doesn't get the setup. But Navi read that very well. Obviously, they saw the smoke. They thought about their decision-making process. They thought to themselves, okay, we're a little bit too late to take this fight, but what if we meet back up, then surprise them? They were a little bit faster than Liquid. And for, like, feels like the 9th time they've killed poor Matama Man. How many deaths does Finnish boy have?
Oh my god, he's 0-6 and 6. Oh no. I like the fact that he's got a Helmet Dominator though. That certainly has got to help him out
It makes
a
him
little
look
bit.
slightly more rich.
I was thinking of the fact that he could be like, you've killed me, but my neutral creep is still farming.
As long as the neutral is pushing out the wave. You guys know me in pushing out waves.
Yeah.
It's an ideal situation. The wolf lives on. Dude, that's so sad. Because you're Viper. Like, what are you supposed to do to come back?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot this hero can do.
I'd like to see both teams. I think the first Roshan will matter a lot for especially Liquid. Because if you get it on the gyrocopter, we talked about how now gyro is a little bit more important to this.
Sure.
Because the Viper is really... Like, if Viper wasn't 0-6, then it would be a lot more complicated for Navi to play this game.
Yeah, we're talking about a core game is pretty much Miracle and Mind Control
Yeah.
against the world, right? Like, there's no Matama Man in this equation.
Matama Man does not exist.
Matama Man is the front line, like, the
Alright,
guy
just
who
tank
just
it again,
dies.
dog.
Yeah,
Like-
he poisons everyone by dying first.
Yeah, Matama Man's like, haha, you've activated my trap card. I died
Corrosive
again.
skin.
You fools, your blinks are disabled. This is what I wanted. They're gonna.
So in that case, Navi's perspective on a team fight, they shouldn't activate that trap card, right? We should be looking for General to grab somebody else.
yeah, like all jokes aside, like they should be trying to go onto this gyrocopter, and that's why you saw Miracle build something more defensive, because when you go for the initial jump as a Bat Rider, and if Miracle's faster, and this is what Miracle's known for, right, is his
Yeah,
reaction
outplays.
time. If he gets the Hurricane Pike off on the Bat Rider as he comes in, the fight's blown wide open.
Yeah, you're completely screwed.
Yeah,
Your
you actually
initiation.
the fight is pretty much over. Navi has to disengage at that point. So he goes for an item like that, which shows you that he understands how this game has kind of switched a little.
But
'Cause-
why? But why that as opposed to like say a BKB, where it would still kind of be the same purpose, where he may be grabbed, but they're not going to be able to burst him down.
I think they can kill him with
Oh,
like
really?
Enchantress, like just like Chuck.
I guess I got the pure damage. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do a lot.
Yeah. I was just thinking SF is primarily magic right now, and Razor's damage is obviously slow to build up.
They still do a lot of right click. Plus, I think Miracle's just like cool outplay territory.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you ever have those players when you were coaching? You just like, that's who they were, and you wanted to, like, you guys just had to encourage that in a way?
Yeah, it's like Weehaw. He's just, Weehaw was going to be Weehaw no matter what. And we used to butt heads over that a lot, but it wasn't ever a bad thing. Who else was, Mind Control used to be like that too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you would get in arguments with him, but like in a constructive way, because he only ever wanted to get better at Dota. It's just a bit different.
Great power of the Enchantress support. Easy pushing power. Just being able to steal the enemy siege wagon.
That's a really nice tower for them to grab, because they're just getting traded out anyways.
Yeah.
Like Liquid's going bottom.
And they're doing it with the support, so their cores can go into farming things, or in this case, looks like maybe Roshan? They're also TPing back at the same time. So I don't know
That
what's
Roshan is
happening.
really important for Navi to force.
They are really
They
trying
should-
for it.
Yeah, we talked about how this gyrocopter needs it really bad. Like for Liquid to not get a hold of this. They don't have enough initiation. It's like
They
this
better
DK.
hurry the hell up.
Yeah, they need a 3K. He's doing the Shadow Race thing. He's got 9 stacks, 10.
Liquid is almost there. They've got a haste rune on Miracle. Oh no.
This SF has Arcane Rune. He's going
This
to
could
kill
be
it fast.
disastrous. They've already lost the Enchantress, but it's sacrificial death to make sure they do manage to pick up the Aegis. Crystallize does have the Force Staff up in time to be able to get out of the pit, and Liquid are not going to be able to find that big team fight that they were hoping for.
Arcane Rune SF. Oh. So I guess nobody wins.
Now it's just me and you.
Everyone DC'd. Okay, now everyone's popping back in. At least we get to see everything. Okay, so we're gonna get a replay of. So it was. He did have Arcane Rune. I was like, how's he?
Yeah, he was just raise, yeah.
That's the cool thing about this, like Magic SF though.
Yep.
It's like you always scale. Oh.
It's pretty interesting how over the last like year and a half, 2 years, we've had these magic damage scaling into late game so well.
Yeah, like
You know, it used to be, it was kind of like the thing about Dota, right? Is that like magic damage just won't scale as well into late game.
Yeah. It's more like if you have heroes that can play mobile enough, then you can do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, this was the.
And that all started. You think was at the start of Lina?
Lina was pretty cool.
Because I feel like that was the first like really big magic damage carry that was like super mobile. Like,
If you had asked me like 3 years ago, like what hero would I see doing something like that, I would not say Lina. Wait, did Lina come before or after the Mirana Ags thing?
definitely.
Because the Mirana, then it was the Mirana Ags.
Yeah.
And then it just like it kept evolving from there. But if you think about it, like the core thing that links these heroes is that they all have like mobility to them, right? Like Mirana has leap, Lina has incredible move speed. Is Denny just gonna lose the Aegis?
Apparently. How did they know he was here? I saw them running back to mid.
Yeah.
The Ozat.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic for Liquid. They're gonna be really happy about that.
Yeah, certainly. They've got a BKB finished up for the Dragonite. They could actually have, like, they get another pick off like that. They could go high ground with this Dragonite.
Yeah, that's for Navi. Like that was a really important Aegis. Like, to kill that Shadow Fiend twice in fights would be a little bit hard because you have this one form of lockdown and this DK.
Yeah, we thought they just managed to take the Roche and get out, but
Yeah,
looks like
Casualties.
they still got caught.
My sprites are with us.
but yeah, for SF, well, I mean, he just moves around at like max move speed with drums. That counts as mobility too when you're permanently hasted.
Yeah, we were having this conversation, like, why get Blink on
get
that
Blink
hero
when
when you're moving max movement speed?
When you always have blink. Oh, that Dragonite's really farmed now though. He's joined to this.
Yeah, he's become a problem. Matumba, man! This is my life.
Whatever, man. Joke's on you guys. Corrosive skin.
Just wait till my big brother Miracle hears about this.
Get him, dude.
13 to 15. It is a 3,000 gold lead right now for Liquid, so not that big. Do you think that Liquid's lineup outscales Navi? I don't think it does.
I think it does. I think their Tricore is a bit better.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they get all the items.
I guess I was just thinking the fact I thought SF was a little bit better than most of these heroes. They've got Bat Rider who's such good initiation in the late game, and then Enchantress will scale into a core as well.
I think when it comes to, if it's like everyone 6 slotted, then maybe Navi's.
Okay.
But I don't think it doesn't work like that.
So you feel like despite losing this Aegis, the pressure is still on Navi to maybe not force this game into a conclusion, but still be on the aggression.
I don't know. It's weird because I think that Bat Rider is very, very strong in this game.
Yeah.
Like once is he getting a BKB? He should get a BKB next.
Yeah, he needs one. Oh
Yeah.
no, Blink initiation telekinesis coming out from
They
GH.
might just go high ground here.
They pick off like that? Sure. Why Why not? Mind control.
They don't have Viper, but like, no offense, but
Look at Matamba Man
yeah,
building up blade
Matsu, I
mail.
love you, but
He's like, now it's not just corrosive skin, it's blade mail as well.
okay. So when I'm just saying it right now, like if you build like that, you don't like the enemy team. You're not super happy about the direction that this game has gone for your personal goals.
You are literally just playing for as much damage output for your death as possible.
Yeah, it's
Every 5 points of damage I take, you will take one.
it's like when people try to eat your fries and you just like lick them out of spite and you ruin it for everyone involved.
I don't know that because I don't do that.
I mean, I don't do that either, but I read some people
No,
do.
I know you definitely do. I know you
So
love
anyways,
your fries.
I read some people that definitely do that. And when people do that, it's like you're just ruining it so nobody has a good time. So that's what Tamaman's. He's licking the proverbial fry. 'Cause come on, man! Like he's died. He has 7 deaths. He's only been a part of 8 of his team's kills. Like, and I think all of those kills that he's been a part of is when he gets gone on and the corrosive.
Yeah. Snowball going to come out from Roger here, but there is going to be the call down out from... Ooh, they actually grabbed the gyrocopter. Maybe they can get the damage to burst him down, but they're just not getting it fast enough. They actually get stunned up too much by the telekinesis, but a block out for the Ice Shards. That's beautiful. See if they can run down Miracle here. It's so important for them to lay the damage into it, but Dendy just couldn't get into a position. Mind Control put himself forward to be able to stop that Crystallize. He's going to end up going down to Matumba Man, and Dendy is on the retreat, but again, you do have GH keeping pace with that Blink Dagger. Step by step, Roger finally does end up going down, and Snako drops as well from the Matumba Man, but it does allow Dendy to be able to escape.
I need a replay of that for sure.
That was a really frantic,
Thought that
all
Navi
over the place team fight.
was going to win that fight almost assured. They got Liquid quite low. Liquid had used a lot of their escapes. Like Miracle had committed already to the Force, and they shrined to full.
Yeah.
So all of Liquid was like half HP, or what looked like it, and it looked like Navi was just going to crush that fight.
I think one big thing is I noticed Mind Control, I'm not sure if he blinked or he was just able to run over, but when we had that Ice Shards blocking in Miracle, he put himself on that SF.
Okay.
And he went ahead and stunned him, taking away a lot of their damage. They're going to be able to find General here, and this is now potentially Navi crumbling as they're going to lose their Tier 3 and are still going to have to take a 4 versus 5 if they want to protect their racks, and that just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. So at this point, I mean, Liquid is in a pretty dominant position. If you can win fights like that, with Matuma Man like kind of edged himself into that fight, he's like, "Hello, guys, still here." But
I'm still viable.
the funny thing is, they're just ignoring him now in these fights. They're just all in on Miracle.
Yeah.
And the fact that they couldn't kill Miracle was the big problem. Like, if you kill Miracle there, then the fight probably looks a little bit different.
And he's so stats heavy too. Looking at me, it's sitting at 2k HP without having strength treads on, which I'm sure.
Yeah, he's
Miracle
almost
did
got.
swap
He'll have
in.
BKB now for the next fight too. And at
Yeah.
that point, he's very, very strong.
So they have to get a really good initiation from that Bat Rider and isolate that gyrocopter, potentially get chain stun in there as well.
Yeah. What does the Razor have? I don't know. It's like he needs BKB so bad too. You saw in that fight, like he got blown up, he got stunned, and I think the majority of the death ward was on him
Yeah.
during that time period. So your hood doesn't do too much there.
And Matumba Man.
And
Don't forget him.
don't forget, never forget
He
Matu.
gave him Viper Strike.
Yeah, he's.
I was about to say, I was going to say, do you just go to Yags,
You
right?
might
Because
as
at this
well,
point,
honestly.
like,
Just
you're-
Be
like-
as unfun as possible. Plus, look at that +6 corrosive skin stats.
yeah, he's
Let's
going to get the plus 100 Viper Strike DPS as well. He's given up on right-clicking people. Nether Toxin silences.
The
Has
job-
anybody ever got that?
He's pivoting, man.
Pivot.
Just keep pivoting. You know. Oh, dude, look at his score now. 4-7. We can make these jokes because they're winning, but at some point it was pretty sad. Navi made this like conscious effort to only kill him, and Miracle went untouched the entire game, and now Miracle is grown up. He's strong enough now to protect.
Yes.
He has 8 kills. Like, at some point, there's like this thing, you know, where you're a mid laner and you die like 10 times, where you just don't really care because the amount of
Yeah.
gold that they get is not worth it anymore.
It's the 5 position complex, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I think I care.
I need to rewatch this game because I don't know how the DK caught up either. Remember, Mind Control was like 4 levels behind the Razor, and now he's got like the second most farm on his team.
I mean, the big thing is the Razor can't stay in a lane forever, right?
Yeah.
So he had to rotate out as soon as he did.
Mind Control just kept moving around every time he had DK form. Oh, here's the jump.
Oh, they jump in with the BKB. They're going to let loose that ultimate. It's so much damage. They've almost brought down Miracle, but still not enough. Now he gets off the BKB and all that magic damage is going to be for naught. Miracle is unstoppable in this team fight. With just half HP, they can't turn on him. Can't put any physical damage onto him. They take down 2. They only pick up the Rubik there. Now they find extra initiation. They manage to jump onto the Bat Rider. Miracle chasing him down with the Rocket Barrage. The cast just keeps on bouncing. Beyond godlike triple goal for Miracle. See if they can make it a quad kill.
Mind Control takes that one, but Na'Vi on the back foot. They're going to call GG. 29 minutes into the game, 16k gold lead is what Liquid ends with, 25-14. But fairly straightforward game. I mean, it looked a little bit weird from the laning phase, but after that...
Yeah. And some of the little bit awkward team fights. It's just... So it's, again, it just comes down to the fact that Liquid just better at team fighting.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the fist bump between the 2 guys that carried that game. I don't know if Matoma Man's getting a fist bump.
Everyone's going to get him a pat on the back. Good try, buddy.
You lived.
You get the participation trophy for that one.
I mean, Na'Vi, so we can say that they won 3 lanes. Or the top lane didn't really win, but it was enough of a wash where if you're an offlaner, you're okay.
Yeah, you're not upset.
Yeah, but that bottom lane was dominant.
Yep.
That mid lane was, I mean, they just kept getting double kill after double kill.
Them.
But when the first like fights came, Liquid they could just 5-man so fast.
Yeah.
And it was like 7 minutes in, they're like, what, we're getting 5-man? And they lost Dendy. The lead that they built up to him went away just that quick.
Liquid really showing us in this performance here why they're top 3, why they won TI. What is it about Liquid that separates them from the rest of the teams? We'll go to the panel to find out.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Cap. That will come back, of course, to our members of the commentary team for game number 2. But a very impressive end to game number 1 for Team Liquid. But up to 20 minutes, you kind of felt as a Na'Vi fan, maybe they could just squeak out a win here. Wasn't to be, though.
It was definitely looking like that.
Yeah, pretty even, wasn't it? 21 minutes, I think I counted like less than 1k gold lead, pretty even on kills.
They got a Roche right away.
And then you were like, whoa, okay. And then the last 8 minutes of the game, it's like, wow, Liquid just went up a gear or something.
It seemed like Dendy had that Aegis. He got picked off in that top jungle. We'll see it in a bit here. And then they actually seemed like they lost a lot of their direction in the game.
Yeah, the early game was good for Na'Vi, but for me that's where I'm seeing back like, all right, pretty even, 25, 30 minutes in. That's probably not where Na'Vi need to be.
Right,
like, if you're versing Liquid, you almost need to be like ahead. Because otherwise they are going to out-team fight you, as Captain Blitz talked about. Liquid's team fight, the way they play and just bait around each other is just so good with the Rubik plays coming out from GH, the way Miracle in that bottom jungle team fight just lured everyone in, and they killed, like, completely wiped Na'Vi. Liquid were, on even terms, seeing very comfortably.
I mean, it's the early part of the game. We were just looking at it going, all right, 4v3 mid then. Well, that's a thing now then.
I'm glad you brought up the mid, too. I feel like I'm watching this Liquid team, and I'm like, oh yeah, they picked Viper again. They picked in the past, and Matu had a struggle. But I feel like that's the point. I feel like he's playing this Viper like he was playing the Veno in the previous time. It's just kill me over and over again, focus on me so my other guys can just shine. Yeah. This was an off-lane DK. Look at his net worth. He was versus a Razor.
And the point of Razor is you're meant to beat heroes like DK, but
you're supposed to smash
really not quite the case.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. I feel like teams maybe are going to start like picking up on it a bit, but it just seems like this is a trap, though. It's just like this Viper matchup, they focus on him a bit, too, and you're like, you have to kind of work to gank this Viper, but then you're like, wait, we're ganking a Viper. These other guys are just farming, and they're taking control of the game a bit harder.
And this is not something we're unfamiliar with Liquid. They've done this before.
Yeah.
I remember early parts of last year's season, they would pick, maybe not the best meta hero, but they'd pick something that everyone was just like, why do they keep picking it? It doesn't make any sense. And then people would start banning it because they were like, well, let's just ban it. We don't figure it out. We can't figure out what it is, so let's just ban it. Wasting bans on stuff that they need to waste ban, and then they bring out something that they were really good at. It just seems a kind of cycle path that they're coming on.
It's that Kuro brain, man. Yeah. When he was just like doing the first pick Tusk as well, remember that? And then people are like, we got ban Tusk? Like, what's happening? And then they get Chen and stuff.
That's part of the problem, though, isn't it, guys? When you become a good captain and you're well respected and your team's winning, they start studying your drafts a bit more, and they start, but hold on, why is he picking? well, let's try that then. We will try that. It just doesn't work.
When
Because
you
it's not
can
the
win
same
with
players
anything,
or whatever.
yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
you can win with anything. You can win with something that's maybe not the best first pick or the best hero for its role and make it look better than it actually is, and suddenly you're actually mind gaming all these potential opponents.
Yeah, mind gaming Ice Frog into nerfs.
Exactly. Liquid kind of dictate the future patch by whatever Liquid pick. Oh, it's getting nerfed because they keep picking it and they keep winning.
That's it now, Viper OP.
Yep,
It's an Ice Frog's play right now. He's like, no.
Yeah,
We're gonna fix this Viper. That's not right. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be winning so many.
Well, we legitimately have seen that. Like, I mean, the biggest example for me is TI3 Alliance. They single-handedly got Wisp and Nature's Prophet nerfed, particularly with the Wisp. That hero got nerfed because of one team and how unbeatable they were with it.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah,
it does happen. Remember IG? Wait, IG at the Shine? It was like, oh, sorry, Magnus gone, Monkey King gone, Ricky gone,
I think
Lena
Monkey King
gone.
was the one, wasn't
like,
it?
all of them.
Everyone was abusing Monkey King for a while.
That was
like,
everyone,
that's
yes.
getting nerfed now.
But the Ricky was like, no one else is really using it that much, and suddenly this hero is getting like movement speed nerfs or whatever he got, and it's like, why is Ricky being nerfed?
does
This hero's like just been getting played for like a few weeks, and suddenly he's out.
Yeah.
So that's Dota for you.
It is training for you. It's part of the whole circle of life, as we've come to know it in the Dota world. From Navi's point of view, how do you think they reflect on that and look ahead?
I mean, you said it. I feel their first 20 minutes were super solid, and then they got like picked. They got like one big death, and the game just like blew up in their faces. I don't know really what to fix it with like this. Honestly, like because they looked really good those first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? For them?
I feel like it's like one small mistake costed them so heavily versus a team like Liquid.
So maybe they don't go too far away from what they were on.
Yeah, I think you brought it up though. Like when you have this type of lineup, you have an Enchantress and stuff. You want to have a little bit more of a lead versus a team like Liquid. So
I think try and snowball a bit more rather than just have that stable game. I mean, they had the Ench. I feel like the early to mid game impact of Ench wasn't as much as we've seen sometimes this roaming Enchantress have. So that's an area maybe where if they focus more on the early game against Liquid, try and just don't give Liquid a chance to be on even terms with you.
Okay. Going to get more from both of our members of the panel very shortly, but headed to a break right now. Don't go too far away though. Game 2 is coming next between Na'Vi and Team Liquid.
here's the jump.
Oh, they jump in with the BKB. They're going to let loose that ultimate. It's so much damage. They've almost brought down Miracle, but still not enough. Now he gets off the BKB and all that magic damage is going to be for naught. Miracle is unstoppable in this team fight. With just half HP, they can't turn on him. Can't put any physical damage onto him. They take down 2. They only pick up a Rubik there. Now they find extra initiation. They manage to jump onto the Bat Rider. Miracle chasing him down with the Rocket Barrage. The cast just keeps on bouncing. Beyond godlike triple goal for Miracle. See if they can make it a quad kill.
Takes that one, but Na'Vi on the back foot. They're going to call GG.
As you get older, life becomes all about following a few simple